Hi, I'm Leo, Managing Director of Wired, and we are in the beautiful little village of Torrita di Siena in the Tuscan Hills. We're here today to talk about Dig VR, the most immersive and realistic digging game made for VR. Italy is my safe space. You know, I've come here since I was a child. This is the house my dad made. 2020, at the beginning of lockdown, I came to visit my dad in Italy. And on one of the days when I was here, I was only here for a weekend, the government shut down the country, so I couldn't go home. And I had a choice to make. Do I want to quickly get out, or do I want to stay here? I looked around, and I'm surrounded by Tuscan hills. I'm in the countryside. I've got fresh air. I've got my dad inside who was sick, and you know, I had the opportunity to spend some quality time with him. And I thought, you know what, sod you office, I'm staying right here. But COVID led to being bored and wanted to smash things up. So I hired a digger, and in true Italian fashion, the guy dropped it off and gave me the keys and said, there you go son, off you go, use it. So I had control of a pretty powerful vehicle with no knowledge of what to do with it. When you do have it, it's a beautiful motion, it's a beautiful machine, and you become at one with the machine. Really, the machine is an extension of your body. That's how it should be felt.
I remember our first meeting with Leo and Wide Productions. I was sat in my lounge, it was, you know, doing work from home, and I was looking out my window and I could see a digger actually doing some work across the road from me on this driveway, and I could see they were swapping out some of the tool heads on the diggers, and he'd just been using a bucket, and he was now switching out to a breaker to break it. So it kind of organically at that point during that meeting, I was like, well, why don't we just build the game around the simple idea of a digger with different tool heads, and from there we could do different missions and different kind of objectives for the player.
As well as the bucket for digging, we have a circular saw for cutting down trees, we have a trimmer for vegetation, hedgerows, grass. We have an auger for drilling holes, we have a compactor for flattening out the areas that you've dug. Then there's a few silly ones as well, like a bowling ball on a string.
What's important in Dig VR is that we have a world for the player to get to know and play in. So it made sense to have an actual radio to accompany the actual game.
We can make VR our own, 'cause all we need is a little bit of rock and roll.
This all comes together in the world building. You sort of believe that these tracks exist, and you've got plenty to choose from classical to indie to sort of music of all the ages.
Dig VR is a tribute to my father. Sadly, he's not here to see the game come to fruition, but he was definitely here for the duration of the idea, and even shouting at me, get off that digger, what you doing boy? And I think the Just Add Water team have managed to nail the experience.
The line we hear all the time from people who play it, they go, oh, that's not what I was expecting, in that really joyful sense that they think it's just this kind of sim, but it's got this real good heart to it and humour, and it's got the quirkiness and the fun, and everyone who wasn't necessarily interested in the game because they just had no interest in excavators or diggers whatsoever, all of a sudden are now like, yeah, I'm going to buy this.
PlayStation